Hey, this is Matt with BleepinJeep.com. Today we're going to learn how to change an axle shaft on a Dana 30. I guess this could compare to any four-wheel drive Jeep or truck where you have to remove the axle shaft, but this happens to be on a 1988 Jeep Cherokee. And I've got 15 minutes, so let's see if I can do this. If not, we'll have to cut out the boring parts. First, you're going to need a big half-inch breaker bar. You're going to need a socket wrench. You're going to need a 12-point half-inch socket. Just a regular half-inch socket, 12-point. 7mm Allen wrench, or depending on the year, you might have a half-inch socket to take off your brakes. You might need to press your brakes off with a 6-inch C-clamp. You might need a BFH, a big hammer. And if you're working on that side, on the passenger side, you're going to need a magnetic tool, maybe 2 of them. You don't need to take off the diff cover to do this unless you've got C-clamp axle shafts, in which case you'll have to take out the C-clamp out of there before you can pull the axle shaft out. I don't have that, so we're not going to worry about that. You'll need a screwdriver, a pair of wire cutters, and this is very handy, 36mm socket. You'll have to have one of these to take this off. Alright. So the first thing we're going to need to do is take off the brake caliper here. And to do that, on my Jeep is the 7mm Allen socket. Or you can use an Allen wrench. This just makes it quicker. On some of your models you're going to have I think it's a 13mm or maybe a 12mm on the back of here. Take this off. Let's pull those out. Depending on how often you do this, you might need to press your brake piston shut so you can get this off. Now you want to take off the brake pads. Pull these little clips back. Take off the brake pads and lay them out so you know exactly how they were. Alright, at this point you can take the rotor off, but you don't want to do that yet. You need to put a screwdriver in there. You're going to take your pliers and pull out this cotter pin that's in there. Take off this little piece, set it aside. Now this is where your 36mm socket comes in handy. And this is where this comes into play. Alright, you can break that loose, pull it out. Okay, now take this out, pull that off, set it aside. Now you're going to have to take your half-inch 12-point socket and take the hub off. Just use this to break these loose. See if I can show you that. There's 3 bolts back here that you need to take off to get this off of here. By the way, you don't have to take off the steering. I just happen to be doing some other stuff, upgrades at the moment. Alright, you're going to take all three of these bolts out. So one. Thought I could finger them out, but guess not. Two. And three. Now, depending on how long that hub has been in there, you're going to need to pound it out with a hammer. If you do this frequently like I do on the trail, that hub is going to pop right off of there. Like so. Set that aside. Make sure you keep this where it needs to be. Alright, at this point you can pull your axle shaft out. That's the old axle shaft right there. Alright, I'm tired of putting new axle shafts in, so I've upgraded to the chromoly axle shafts. And maybe I won't have to do this so often now. Just take it. Oh, let me show you this while I'm at it. If you're working on the passenger side, and you've got an older Cherokee, I think 95 or earlier model, you're going to have a two-piece axle shaft in here. Where is that piece? And what you'll need to do is get your magnetic tool and stick it in there and pull out this. This thing will be, not on this side, but on the passenger side, this thing will be all the way over up against the differential. And you'll need to get this onto here, like so, and yank it out. Alright, so put this one back together. Just going to slide this back in, making sure not to hurt the seal that's in there, so kind of lift it up. Don't just slide it along the bottom. Turn it, make sure it's in there. Okay. Now you're going to take your hub, put it back on. Might help if I grease it up a little bit. There we go. Now put your bolts back in. Tighten these down. Okay, that's 2. And 3. There we go. Now we need to make sure to put the washer back in first. Then the huge nut. There we go. 36mm socket. Gonna have to put this brake rotor on first. Put your screwdriver in to keep it from spinning. Alright, now you're going to crank this down. Make sure that's nice and tight. That holds everything together right there. Okay. Now put this piece back on. Cotter pin in. That holds that nut from spinning around in there. Bend the edges of that cotter pin. There you go. Okay, now you need some brake pads. I don't know if you can see that over there, but put these clips down to hold the brake pads in place. There we go. Now take your brake caliper, put it back. Alright, I don't know why my camera shut off there, but you're going to tighten these down. And that's it. You got it. You're ready to put your wheel back on. And you're ready to go. Looks good. Hopefully that won't break now. Thanks for watching. This is Matt with BleepinJeep.com. If you'd like to check out my other videos, just click on the subscribe button. I think it's up there. And have a good one. Thanks. Hey guys, this is Matt with BleepinJeep.com. If you have any questions, just give me a holler. Thanks a bunch.